Downs Gaming and Hotel, we work extremely hard to make your experience here convenient, safe, and fun.
I love Batavia Downs Gaming.
We love it!
I love Batavia Downs Gaming.
We don't just like Batavia Downs Gaming, we love Batavia Downs Gaming.
Batavia Downs Gaming, Hotel, and Racetrack. We not only want you to like coming here, we want you to love coming here.
Folks, well, oh, I added myself twice. Not good. Great job, intern. Who did I leave out? Oh, the Marky Markington.
I love Batavia Downs Gaming.
I do too.
We are winning lots more with this show, where it is not wrestling with your conscience. It is not wrestling with your budget. It's not wrestling with the wind tunnel that Marky Markington is in right now. It is wrestling with emotion. And of course, we got a big day, gents. Elimination Chamber. It's not the first step to WrestleMania, but in a weird way, with how this Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber juncture has become, it does feel like this is really the first kickoff of the actual pathway to WrestleMania. So with that said, let's get into it. Let's start talking all things wrestling, and we'll do so first. Let's go around the horn. Obviously, we got to my right, Partham, the head of the table. We got Rob Ryan, the Prophet. We got Slick L holding it down in Evil. We got your friend, my friend, our friend, Jake Michael. We got the Yes I Can Do, McAdoo, and of course, Marky Markington. With that said, gents, who's got a favorite thing in the world of wrestling they want to kick this off with before we get into some Elimination Chamber picks and talk?
I'm just going to say broad strokes. 4 of the 5 American wrestling TV shows that I watch are pretty good right now, and I'm pretty happy about that. The only one is SmackDown. That's like hit or miss. I'm watching NXT. I'm enjoying NXT. Collision and Dynamite are solid. Even if I'm catching Collision like Monday after and going after, it's been good stuff recently. And Raw it's been exciting on the way to Road to WrestleMania, honestly. But I think it's just a good time. I think they're both hitting creatively, and we're coming to an important time. Revolution next week is shaping up to be a big show. Obviously, Mania down the pipe. So just a good time to be a wrestling fan at the moment.
I think Jake makes a great point. I'm tuning into NXT and really enjoying it for the first time since maybe Black and Gold days, where I wasn't even in touch as much as a lot of you were probably. But I mean, they have kind of a cheat code now with NXT, with all these TNA guys being able to show up. But it's just great for wrestling, as Jake said. The Hardy Boys are showing up. Moose is showing up. You got titles from other promotions being defended on NXT. Santino Marella is getting his OG music and a pop on NXT. I mean, it's just such a great time to be a wrestling fan. You can watch wrestling basically 5 nights of the week, and all of it is pretty good of a product.
6 nights.
Yeah, true. 6 nights. Sorry, Collision. I got to say, Saturdays are reserved for Slick. So Collision can wait till Sunday or Monday, as Jake said.
Yeah.
Well, I'm enjoying the TNA NXT crossover. It's making me more invested to remembering to tune in to TNA on that, whatever channel you can find it on Thursdays at 8. And it's giving a little sense of unpredictability to the NXT product as well. And seeing Ricky now Saints coming in, it's going to, stir the pot even more. Obafemi's a great champion. You have 2 great women's champions, singles champions over there right now. And as far as the main shows go, obviously Raw is still a good product. They're flexing around with the 2.5-hour time on Netflix, a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on what they need. It's good for them. Dynamite, the only thing I'm really intrigued by at this point is MJF and Hangman. Everything else, the Death Riders are death itself right now. They got to find a way to land that plane sooner rather than later. SmackDown last night was a proper go-home show, a proper show that they haven't had in a few weeks this year. So we'll see how the final boss's involvement is going to, stir this pot even more than it already has been.
Does WWE just low-key love devastating those Canadian crowds with the fake psych outs? I mean, you go back almost 20 years to Shawn Michaels pretending to bring out Bret Hart, and then you got last night Logan Paul pretending to bring out John Cena. I mean, that was devastating.
Yeah. What is that about? What are they doing to the poor people up north?
Yeah, if you want to go even further north, let's not forget what happened in Glasgow.
Is that further north?
Yeah, you got
all the way around the globe.
Definitely above Canada. I mean,
all right. Let's say
you talking about Punk coming in as a referee.
Yeah.
Is this
Big
becoming
Bang-
geography with emotion now? What the fuck?
Geography with motion. Big
Yeah.
Bang
Hey,
Slick.
hey, McAdoo.
Geography's important.
PG, brother.
Man, if only would have played that 5 seconds sooner, it would have
Yeah,
made more.
Took you
nice
long
try,
enough.
Prophet. Anyways, but
Impact, that
great
guy.
transition, and we are
Mate, you're delusional.
hold.
All right.
It is great time for some train wreck trivia brought to you by Batavia Downs. Batavia Downs.
Speaking of the clip,
I almost accidentally clicked the 30-second ad, so I was doing all the listeners.
Oh, that
favor.
would've been perfect.
Don't give me. You know what? There we go. All right. Anyways,
Time
there have been 32 matches, elimination chamber matches in WWE history. Who holds the record for the most appearances, most times in the elimination chamber?
Randy Orton.
Big Show.
Big Show's a great. I feel like could it be Cena?
I'm gonna
Prophet
say Jericho.
It with Randy Orton. Randy
Hey.
Orton. What a statement, Prophet. I
That's
give
why
him
I'm the
credit.
prophet.
That is why he is the prophet. So good credit to
He
him.
cheated.
We are proud of the prophet. Did he cheat? Did he cheat?
No.
Tell us
You
you
got
did.
a guilty face, bro. I don't know. That's
Paper. That's cap. Totally cap. That means lie.
Okay. Very fair.
I won't take away his
Fair,
privilege.
fair.
He's overusing it.
All right.
I
Why don't we get a little tougher then? If that's so easy for the prophet. There have been 32 matches. Oh, by the way, Randy Orton with 1 elimination chamber win. With that said, who has the most eliminations
Oh,
in
that's
the
Chris
elimination
Jericho.
chamber?
Yeah, you kind of.
Whoa,
stole that one. Whoa! Party cheated on that one. He saw it.
I think you both cheated. I think
Hey,
you both
hey.
cheated. That was very
that's why I didn't say this one because I
No
saw
wonder
it before.
Partham was so quick to jump to that answer.
know,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was
Oh,
on
yeah.
it.
But no wonder
Shit,
Partham
right.
knew that Prophet cheated because Parthy was busy cheating. It's like one of those.
Hey, I had Chris
All right.
Jericho on my mind from the start. All right.
I'm recognizing game. I like it.
It's hard not to when you're learning from the learning tree.
All right,
always
let's keep
learning.
running through the gauntlet then. What is
Speaking of something
the
else that's gotta die.
shortest match in elimination chamber history, time wise?
It was a
Shortest.
women's one, wasn't it? Wasn't there one that was like
Nope.
Yeah, I can
men.
see that them having their
Wasn't
It was a
time
man?
cut
tag
short.
team one.
tag team like 11 minutes or so? I feel like
No,
it was like
men's
something like that.
and it was
We're
pretty
back.
recent.
No, you're saying actual elimination chamber net match, not shortest match at elimination chamber, right?
The shortest
Yes.
chamber match.
Yes.
Hmm.
Was it a Thunderdome?
Nope, it was a Jeddah Dome. 15 minutes and 10
Oh.
seconds 3 years ago.
Wow. Wait, so was the event there or did they just have a match?
I think they had the full event elimination.
Yeah, it was
chamber
the full
at Jeddah for sure. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
it
that's
being-
right.
the
No,
hell
I do remember
That's
that
crazy.
because I think
Oh,
I think
I know why.
I believe the main event was like Brock and Roman for like the 4th time or something.
no. Brock was in the chamber, I thought.
Oh, was he?
Because I think that was the one that.
Oh, you're right. Was that when he threw Theory off the?
I think so. and
Or was
the one
that when he got added to the chamber because, like,
Lashley-
Lashley got taken out?
No, Lashley was in the chamber. I think this is why he was shortened. I think is because he was in the chamber, got his concussion, and that's why they pulled him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Forgot about that. Yeah, there was basically like one short of an entrant because of Lashley.
Yes.
And that was when he took like what did he take like a spear through the pod or something?
I don't
Or
think he was in the match then.
somebody got speared through a pod and it knocked him out like that.
Wait,
Oh,
what
that's
the
right.
hell is
He
going
was-
on?
Right.
He was in
What
the
is happening here?
Yeah.
What? After years, the Talbots have
Whoa!
returned to wrestling
Back.
with emotion. They are back. We are talking elimination chamber. So we got one more trivia question brought to you by Batavia Downs that the Talbots can get in for. Let's see if we can group think this through. We can knock it out. By the way, welcome back to Talbots. Welcome back, Owen. Welcome back, Ryan. 5 wrestlers have won the elimination chamber more than once. Who are they?
Triple H.
Correct.
John Cena.
Yeah.
John Cena, correct.
Is Edge one of them?
Edge is one of them.
Okay.
Orton?
Undertaker?
Orton, Undertaker, both incorrect.
Is it a woman?
Yeah,
I was gonna say, is there a woman that's won twice?
Not a woman that's won twice, but it's a recent superstar. Probably both of his wins would be within the last 6 years, I assume.
Ooh.
Who do we have so far? Triple H, Cena, and Edge?
Well, Roman would not be in
McIntyre?
an Elimination Chamber match. in the last 6 years.
McIntyre?
No.
McIntyre?
McIntyre, yep, he won
So
last.
we need one more.
So we need one more.
Not Rollins. He's been champ a lot.
Rollins has never won a chamber match.
No, right. And he's been
This superstar is retired.
Shawn Michaels?
Nope.
No.
Sting. I don't know. I just lied.
No,
not
Sting.
What?
I don't know. I just
He's
lied
barely
my
in his
ass
2
off.
minutes.
Coppin, I might have to put you in timeout for that, honestly.
It's just for someone that claims to be the prophet.
It's not Batista, is it?
Oh, that's a good guess.
Nope,
That's a
not
really good
Batista.
guess.
That is a
already-
good guess.
Retired. Is it Daniel Bryan?
It is Daniel Bryan.
Oh.
Triple
Wow.
H, Cena, Daniel Bryan.
Wait.
Edge,
He's
and
only
McIntyre.
full-time retired. He's not retired.
Oh,
retired.
you're
Oh,
Don't start
don't
them.
even start. me,
It's a
Marcia, on
semantic, but come on. I know what you
Don't
meant. I know what
All
you
right,
meant.
well, with
Jeez.
that said, we got the Talbots in the house. We're pumping here on Wrestling with Emotion. All of the chyrons and everything in StreamYard is taking like 4 seconds to go, just so everyone knows. With that said, we are rocking and rolling Elimination Chamber picks. Let's get into them. Let's
Before
start
we get
with
into the picks, since we have a
yes,
special
what do you
guest
got?
here, Owen, great work on that school project. We all have to say.
Oh yeah. Round of applause.
well done.
Yeah, great.
That
I
was
think-
a pipe bomb on AEW going. Well done.
Well done.
I think the wrestling in
Shimano to
AEW
Tony
is a little
Khan.
bit better than he gave it credit for, but a lot of good points made by OT in that paper for sure, no doubt about it. And if that's, I wish I went to school with that kind of stuff. Honestly, I was busy learning about hypotenuses and periodic tables. But anyways, Elimination Chamber, Toronto. We've got the
What is
final
that?
boss. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. But let's start out with tag team match. So we get to see Stratus faction back in Toronto. I mean, I feel like, if it's Toronto, it's just Stratus at this point for WWE. With that said, Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Talbots, why don't you start us off, and then we'll go through McAdoo, Slick, and up the counter here.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a surprise in this one. You have to go with Stratton and Trish Stratus in this matchup. I don't feel like needs to be a lot of time spent on this one, Owen.
I think as well, Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. So, that could be a great match. Could be either or, but I think it would be Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus.
That's a good point. Does anybody have Nia Jax or Candice LeRae in this one?
I have Nia Jax injuring someone. How about that?
Good. Can I
Okay,
also
so then
mention
any
why
special
is-
spots or anything we're looking forward to in the match? I'd rather talk about stuff we want to see during the match.
I want to mention how no one is man enough to say thank you.
Thank
Trish.
you,
Thank you,
Trish.
I was going
Thank you,
to if
Trey.
it got
Thank
to
you,
me,
Trey.
but maybe it cut me
Thank
off.
you.
I thought it was implied at this point. We're all saying thank you,
We've always
Trish.
said thank
Well,
you.
Rob
Trish.
just wants to feel special, okay? Just let him have his moment. He's got his little sunglasses on to make him.
Wow.
Oh,
This is-
come on.
This is
Let's
a great,
be civil
this is a
here.
great
All right.
feud.
I think it's more likely that Nia Jax botches something because she goes too soft. I think she's going way too far the other way with either chair shots or the bonsai drop. She's trying way too hard to not injure someone, and the art of wrestling is to find that happy medium. So I think it's more likely that she just soft botches something than hurts somebody in this match.
Yeah, the big sit the other day where she kind of really just sat down on the two girls was not a good move, not a smooth operation there. Charlotte probably shows up at some point though, right? In this, for an angle or something. That's probably the biggest
that's a
thing
good
here is we
point.
get some kind of Charlotte, Trish, Tiffany angle after this match.
But do we think that Charlotte's going to get physical, or will she just be on the ramp, staring
She'll be
down
on the
Tiffany,
ramp.
saying, "Yeah, now it's you and me."
Yeah, no idea.
I feel like that's me. Remember, it's a baseball stadium, so it's gonna be a long ramp. So,
that's right. I
yeah.
forgot her at Rogers tonight.
And that is always a big factor when you have the huge entrances. Makes it a little tougher for the run-ins, but they typically do the run-ins from the side, right? And then, I mean, what do we do? Maybe Charlotte goes to grab the belt, runs in the ring, hits Candice or Nia, and then Tiffany and Trish pick up the win as the Queen looks on very upset.
Or
I mean,
would Trish and Tiffany just win clean, and then Charlotte does like her whole entrance down to the ring and like just soaks it all in? I could see her doing that too. Like we
that would take a while. That would be
They got time to kill. There's only 4 matches, Mike. We got and a soul.
We got the soul
on the line.
Well, there's 4 matches in a very long segment. We anticipate.
We have a soul on the line. Let's not spoil that. All right. With that said, let's go to a blood feud. Decades in the making. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. They are worried for each other's families on what they're about to do on this one. That's how they're selling this this edition of Zayn versus Owens. With that said, family matters. Talbots, how are we feeling in this one? Who you got in Zayn Owens?
Yeah, I've got Kevin Owens in this match. He needs a win here. He's been in a lot of feuds. He's come out on the losing end of, obviously, with Cody Rhodes recently. Now he needs to pick up some wins along the way. Sami Zayn and Owens have had some classics over the years. I think this will be another really good match, but I'm going with Kevin Owens. And as you can see, I think Owen has a different opinion.
Yeah. I picked Sami Zayn only because if Kevin Owens tries to do a pile driver on Sami, I think Cody could come out. No, just trust me on this.
No.
Just trust me on this.
He has nothing. No.
This is why wrestling is better than normal sports, though. You're never like, oh, Kevin Durant is about to take a shot and Jason Tatum runs out of like the tunnel. This is why WWE's best, because that is something that can happen, Ryan, whether you want to believe it or not. Owen has Sami Zayn.
Let's hear him out.
Ryan's going to go watch some AEW if that happens.
Yeah, I want to hear
McAdoo, or sorry. So, Owen, any final thoughts after the pile driver and the Cody Rhodes save?
No, I think Sami Zayn would just get a clean win after that. So
Okay, clean after that. McAdoo, Slick, what do you got?
I'm gonna go Zayn, but I think there's post-match shenanigans with Kevin Owens here. I think this is not going to be the last time. I think it's going to be a lead into WrestleMania. I think we'll see them again.
I'm going to go with Kevin Owens. Kind of from what Talbot said, I think he needs a win, and this feud doesn't seem to be ending. And I can't really see these guys getting pinned against anyone else going into Mania. It seems like this is their Mania build, and I feel like this is a spot that both of these guys want to have on a Mania stage. So I think if Sami gets the babyface win at some point, it's not tonight. So I'm going to go with Kevin Owens.
I am so excited for this match. First of all, we throw around like dream match things too often, and this is one where I'm like, I've been, as a wrestling fan, started watching again like 10, 11 years ago. This is like the rivalry for me, so I'm very excited to see how they do this. I think Kevin Owens takes it here. I think Kevin Owens wins, and I think he puts Sami Zayn out where we don't know if he's even going to make it to WrestleMania. I think that it's going to be something like that. The Randy Orton variable we have to consider here. And I think you can still they could book Kevin Owens to win this match in a brawl all over the baseball stadium. And he beats Sami Zayn. He takes him out, puts him out for a while. Randy Orton comes back, maybe not tomorrow night on Raw, whatever, something like that. They can have their match at WrestleMania, Kevin and Randy. And Kevin and Sami could have on night 2 just like a thing that starts as a brawl backstage or something. They see each other, and it just turns into an impromptu match where they're just brawling all over Toronto, brawling all over the arena, or not Toronto, brawling all over Vegas and wherever. Like, I think that there's ways they can do this where it's not a match and they still have something happen at WrestleMania between the two. But to have this moment in Toronto for these guys is huge, but I think Kevin Owens gets it done.
Yeah, I kind of had the same theory as Jake coming in, where there wouldn't be a winner to make it easier for WrestleMania. However, I just thought about it. This is an unsanctioned match, right?
Yes.
So anything can go, really. So there's not really a chance of no DQ, I feel like. So I'm going to go with Kevin, but I do think somehow or another they end up fighting again. Maybe there's an indecisive winner. Maybe there's somehow, I don't know. But there's going to be some funky business going on to make sure that they can run it back again in a month's time or a month and a half's time.
Yeah, I had the same thought as Rob did, because they put the stipulation on this match, your usual no DQ, no holds barred, anything goes, street fight type deal. You know what I mean?
Hardcore.
If they had just made it a regular match and they both came out and started brawling into the crowd and, they threw out the match, Something like we've seen that before, like with like a Randy Orton match. I think it was in Saudi Arabia or something. But if they had just made it a regular match and they had done that, then you could justify going to WrestleMania and making it a stipulation match. But they're going with the stipulation right out the gate. My thought is Kevin Owens is on a good heel run right now, on a ruthless heel run where he needs the momentum going into WrestleMania, and he's going to do something to Sami Zayn in the course of this match. I don't know if it's going to be before the ending or if it's going to precipitate the ending or after the finish where Kevin Owens tries to do even more damage to Sami. But one thing's for sure, at some point we are going to see the return of the Apex Predator, whether it's before the finish or after the finish, because Randy's going to come out and save Sami from Kevin doing, a package pile driver off the stage onto a table or some crazy stuff like that. But Kevin Owens is going to want to try and do something, and Randy's going to make the save. Maybe I don't see Randy making the save before the end of the match. I think they want to put Kevin Owens over. Maybe it'll be because Sami's, I don't know, in a no DQ match, can the referee say that Sami's, incapacitated, knocked out, unable to continue? Or maybe Kevin puts him in some kind of submission maneuver where Sami passes out without tapping out. That whole Austin at WrestleMania thing where you pass out without tapping out. But in one form or another, Kevin is going to win this match, and he's going to want to inflict some brutality on Sami Zayn, and I think Randy's going to make the save in the end.
Yeah, no matter who runs in, it's a bad night. It's a bad night to be Sami Zayn, obviously. I think that's something we can all agree on. I would not be surprised if this ends in, like, them both throwing each other off, like, a bridge, and then, like, they're just like, what happened? Like, we got to figure it out or something. Like, because this is just crazy. With that said, if I had to pick a winner between the two, I would definitely pick Kevin Owens with the potential, comeuppance in WrestleMania or on the road to WrestleMania at some point for sure. So a lot of us on Owens there. We had some Zanes, but let's get into our two chamber matches. And let's start on the women's side of things. We got Liv Morgan versus Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss versus Bayley versus Naomi versus Roxanne Perez. Very solid for the women's side. I will just say in the sense that, I feel like 5 out of 6 of them could definitely win this if they so decided. I know Naomi might be a little bit of a long shot, but she's also gone into Mania as a champion not too long ago. So that's my opinion on there. I'll start us off, and then we'll go opposite order we went last time. For this one, I got Bianca Belair pulling the win. I know that there's been all kinds of stuff all over, but at the end of the day, I think that the office of WWE is big believers in Belair, and I think she gets the win here. Parthy, what do you got?
Yeah, I look at the contenders here. Roxanne Perez got a win on a match last night on SmackDown. I don't think it's going to be her. Bayley had her moment at WrestleMania last year. I don't think it's going to be her. Alexa Bliss just got back. I think they're going to have her in a program with the Wyatts. I don't think it's going to be her. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, assuming Rhea Ripley is going to emerge the champion after her match with Io Sky. That's been done to death, of course. I don't think it's going to be Liv. I don't see it being Naomi because I think Naomi has a date with somebody else at WrestleMania that's going to probably want some retribution for some things that are going to be revealed down the line. So by process of elimination, I think it's got to be Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair is a matchup of two, heavyweight superstars in the women's division. Biggest match that you could possibly do at this point with the talent that you have available. So yeah, I'm thinking it's Bianca.
I think I'm going to go with Bianca as well. Liv, she's not going to fight Rhea again, obviously. Raquel also has her stuff with Rhea. She's not going to fight Rhea. We got Roxanne. She's too early. She's making that push, but I think it's more of the push for the United States Championship or the Intercontinental than it is for the main one. It's kind of like she kind of has the Lyra push right out of NXT. And then you have Alexa Bliss, who's just too recent. She hasn't really been back to get that push back to Mania. So I'm going with Bianca. And then, of course, Parthy always has to steal my shit. I think Jade either makes
from a kid.
I think either Jade returns either tonight or sometime this week. And to go after Naomi. I saw a thing. It wouldn't make sense because of who I think the winner is, but I did see a thing this morning about, if you guys remember, I forgot what year it was, but when Randy, Cody, and DiBiase were still all together, and Cody tried to help Randy, and DiBiase turned on Randy.
Yeah.
It was a thing that they were about Naomi, Jade, and Bianca. I don't think it happens tonight just because the Randy was the person that was Bianca in the situation, but I think it does somehow play a factor, if not tonight, very shortly after with Naomi and Jade.
The interesting thing about the Jade situation specifically is wasn't she supposed to be in the chamber and got attacked or whatever? Isn't that something that happened? Or who was that last year? Wasn't there somebody who got attacked? I thought it was Jade, but anyways, whatever. I'm completely in line with Rob and Partham with the exact way this is going to go down. I think it's Bianca. I think it makes a lot of sense to put Bianca and Rhea across from each other. It's one of their money matches they haven't done for Mania yet, so you got to burn those eventually. But I think the EO thing's really interesting on Monday too, because I do think it's a possibility EO just wins that title in Buffalo Monday and they go ahead with the triple threat, because that is like the 3 Triple H, like those from that era of NXT was like his 3 building blocks. To have a triple threat with them is pretty enticing too. But I also think EO could get screwed over by Dakota Kai or something, and they move in that direction as a kind of messed up finish there, and then just move forward with Rhea and Bianca. But I think we're all pretty much in line here. Bianca's going to win this chamber.
Yeah, I want to be different so bad and pick Alexa Bliss. But her lack of appearances on TV from her return just tells me that she's not really ready to get back into wrestling form yet. The chamber is a huge step. I could see her being one of the last entrances from the pod, but there's only one reason they took these tag titles off Bianca and Naomi, and it's to put Bianca into this spot. Bianca and Rhea is a battle of behemoths, pay-per-view style match, as Jake said. And it feels like the WWE has wanted to have those two in a marquee main event, such as Mania, for a long time now, and it's all aligning right here in front of us. This seems to be the spot. So as much as I want to be different, I think Bianca is going to win this. There was a while in WWE where picking against Bianca Belair was just a terrible bet. I think that's one of someone's rule on this show for a while, was just don't pick against Bianca. And for a while there, it got a little stale. She wasn't about her winning ways. They put the tag titles on her. And spoiler alert, guys, Jade is not coming back. She's not. She's just not coming back. But yeah, it's Bianca. This is going to be where she gets back to her winning ways. It's Triple H's teacher's pet, if you will, and it's going to be quite the matchup between her and Rhea at Mania, provided Rhea can retain that title in Buffalo. I don't think that's completely off the table, winning there, like Jake said.
You guys have changed my mind, because I was going to say Alexa Bliss just because why not? But I think it's going to be Bianca, but I would not be surprised if Roxanne Perez is taking the last fall in this match. Mm-hmm. And because I have to go, I'm going to make my last pick, and come on. I'm in the garb. I'm going to pick Cena. He's going to Mania, boys. I'll see you guys later.
What a
fucking mark!
Whoa.
Kids are here,
That's
man.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
I've never seen that. He hasn't seen all of AEW.
Well, what do you mean? They're definitely locked in every Wednesday night. He's probably
All right, Talbots. What do you got for the female chamber tonight in Toronto?
I got Bianca to win to go main event in WrestleMania, and the same night Jade's gonna come back.
I think Jade comes back tonight too. I have Bianca winning this thing. Maybe post match, Naomi's celebrating. You hear Jade's music. Jade attacks Naomi. I think you're gonna get a double turn. I think you're gonna get both Bianca and Naomi as heels. You got to have a heel in that matchup against Rhea. Rhea is the face in that. Make it look like, Bianca doesn't know what's going on, but maybe Bianca was behind it all along. Had Naomi do it. They both have a double heel turn.
Oh, my gosh. A double heel turn. Something that is not for the faint of heart. With that said, we are into main event time. So let's trap in with our sponsor, Batavia Downs.
Batavia Downs! More, lots more!
Can we talk about how McAdoo during the women's preview just picked the men's and left?
Yeah,
he said he had to.
He said he had to go. He got
power
he got
move.
Zapped, he got
Power
zapped
move.
out of the McAdoo sphere. With that
I
said,
mean, what is NASCAR?
He said Bianca.
really?
He said Bianca.
it's Damian Priest versus, and he said Cena versus Logan Paul versus McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins versus CM Punk versus John Cena. John Cena, we have literally not seen him in the build-up to this Elimination Chamber. The ultimate retirement tour, as far as I'm concerned. With that said, why don't we give the Talbots first shot at this? Who you got in the men's Elimination Chamber tonight in Toronto?
I got CM Punk.
Oh,
wow! I just feel like Cena is too predictable right now. He's like the overall favorite. He hasn't been showing up. They're going to draw this out in terms of him winning that final title. I don't think it happens at WrestleMania. I think he makes it to the end of the match. Punk wins the match. And then it sets something up to it with he and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, where you're wondering maybe who's going to go heel in that match, who's going to turn in that. Just because I think someone's going to join The Rock's side at the end of the night of WrestleMania, but that'll be down the road.
Oh, and
I like that. I like that. What do you got, Slick?
Jeez, all I can think in looking at these names for this chamber match is what a gauntlet, man. Oh my goodness.
What a match.
If you told me all these names are going to be in an Elimination Chamber match in 2025, I would have thought you're silly, especially because I would have been like, what the hell is Logan Paul doing in a WWE ring? But here we are. And he might be one of the more impressive performers of this match tonight. But I am going to be the predictable one and go with Cena. I think as much as he hasn't been on TV, it just doesn't make me think that he's going to want to be on TV all that much towards the end of the year either. So I think if you're going to get this title on him, Mania's the spot. I don't think he's going to want to be doing weekly circuits and house shows come like July, leading up to SummerSlam. I mean, I think he'll definitely be at SummerSlam. But
that's when it's rumored to pick up because his filming will be done. So he should be showing up more. He still has like 40 appearances.
Okay, maybe I'm just dead wrong. I mean, I don't know. It seems very unpredictable then where Cena's schedule is going. So even with that being had, his unpredictable schedule, I do think Mania is the spot. They're going to put this title on him, given the record. And then who knows? You could do a lot of stuff throughout the rest of the year. Like Jake said, if Cena wants to go and do his best for business stuff and turn into corporate Cena, maybe he aligns with Punk at some point and sells his soul to The Rock. Who knows? A lot can happen when you put that title on Cena, but I think it's better to do it sooner rather than later. So I do have Cena coming out of this match tonight, but I don't think he is in that ring I don't think he starts the match by any means. I think he is one of the last two to come into the active match from the chamber, but I do think he wins.
Okay. All right. So what's really important to me about this is, has Cody made the deal? Has he sold his soul by the time this chamber match starts, or is selling his soul the main event of the Elimination Chamber show? That's because if we're going into this match, Cody turned down the offer, then I feel like that changes like who could be the, because then it's like who's going to be the guy. If Cody is taking the offer, that also I feel like changes it, because then it's like who's going to be the first guy that is against authority Cody, corporate Cody, whatever is going on here. So I do think that's important, but we don't know that. We'll see. I do think The Rock will probably be the main event of this show because he's The Rock and that's what we'll do here. But so that being said, I'm with the Talbots. I'm going with CM Punk. I think that the Cena thing, I'm completely in line that the Cena thing is going to be a season long, a year long thing where he doesn't have confidence. He hasn't won a big match in a while. I think he's going to have to kind of build it up slowly, and then he'll get one big chance at the end of the year to win a title, and then Big Match John will come out and play all the hits and get that. Punk Rhodes in a main event that's a headlining main event, especially if The Rock's involved. If either one of those guys align with The Rock, it's big business. And let's be honest, guys, they would love to stick it to AEW a little bit in a headline with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. They are
Oh, yeah.
petty enough, and they should. Because
What do
those
you mean?
guys are two of the biggest
AEW's
stars in the industry.
AEW's not competition to them. They don't care about AEW. What do you mean?
Oh, they would love having that on the marquee.
No,
and I don't
they
think
don't
they
even
pass
pay
up that
attention to
opportunity.
what's happened in AEW. They don't, no, bro, it's
All
nothing
right.
to them.
So I'm going CM Punk, and I think John Cena is the one who he pins at the end. I think McIntyre is probably in the final 3 with them.
Yeah, so I came into the show thinking Cena. However, there's a lot of factors coming to play here. Especially even last night, but it's been the last few weeks. Drew attacking Cena. I think that's where a possibility they go for Mania is a Drew Cena match. So that's that. And another factor is Cena hasn't won a match in years. So are you realistically going to have him win an Elimination Chamber against 5 of some of your top guys and then go on to win against the top guy without even winning a match before that? No, I don't think so. And then I think you need to save some of these appearances for later in the year when he's actually champion and actually has some matches down in his belt. So I'm going to go with Punk, and I think this is going to be a banger. And I think it just makes a lot of sense. I mean, obviously with The Rock can go either way, but I think the Punk is more recent, even as of last year when the whole Cody Rock shit started. It was Punk yelling, "Slap him back! Slap him back!
Mm-hmm.
Boss can't slap you, slap him back." So I think it's gonna be Punk Cody.
Punch people in the face. That's what he was telling Cody to do.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be Damian Priest. It's not. He's had his title run. He's over, but he's not like main event WrestleMania, face Cody WrestleMania over. Logan Paul, that's been done already. He's already faced Cody for a championship last summer, so they're not doing that. Drew McIntyre is interesting. I don't know that they've. He's been taking a few L's lately, as I recall, and I don't know that they've built him up to be main event facing Cody at WrestleMania, unless because it's known that The Rock personally, helped in re-signing him to that new contract of his, gave him like a brand new Claymore or a big sword or something like that. Maybe that comes into play if Drew's the one that says to The Rock, "I'll be your champion." But the one interesting thing that I remember from last night is Seth being so adamant that he does not want CM Punk to main event WrestleMania. It'll be over his dead body, he said. So Seth says he may not win it, but he's not going to let Punk win it. And I learned my lesson from the Royal Rumble. If Punk has a favor that he has in his back pocket to cash in from Paul Heyman, that tells me that as much as I want to see it, and as much as I'd be happy to see it, he's not winning tonight. And it's going to be specifically because of Seth Rollins. I had in my head that it might have been Drew McIntyre doing this, but after Seth was so adamant last night, I think it's going to be Seth playing this role, where Punk eliminates Seth. He pinfalls Seth. And Seth is so crestfallen and so distraught. He's on his way out of the chamber. They have the door open because the referee's saying you got to get out of the match. And Seth just turns around and he cheap shots CM Punk. He low blows him. He stomps on him, throws his head into the metal grates or whatever, and lets somebody else, maybe Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre will gleefully pin CM Punk, take advantage of Seth's, now that he's been eliminated, outside interference technically, and he'll be the one to get one over Punk after Punk won the series 2-1 and beat him at Hell in the Cell. So, and Punk will have more vitriol for Seth than he will for Drew. And I think that leads to something. And keep in mind, somebody else that's returning. I mentioned Randy Orton earlier. Somebody else is out there in the ether planning to return and take his revenge on somebody, and that is the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. He has his eyes set on Seth Rollins, and I'll bet you after Seth Rollins does his work on CM Punk and he's heading up the ramp and admiring his handiwork, who comes out of nowhere, bam, with a spear, and it's Roman Reigns, and he's here to get his scalps from Seth Rollins.
Everyone
what if? Now think about this though, because now you got me thinking, Mike. What if Punk heard all this last night from Rollins, and he's like, okay, Seth's going to take me. He's thinking strategy for the match today. He's like, Seth's going to take me out. What if the favor he calls in is that he calls in Paul and says Roman needs to take out Seth before this match?
That's not Punk. That's not Punk. No. He wouldn't say take out Seth. He would want to do it himself. He'd want to beat on Seth himself.
Why would he not? If he thinks Seth is the obstacle,
Punk is a scumbag. He would do whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it would fit into it if he becomes corporate Punk.
And then if he wins that match, he gets Cody, and that's your impetus for Roman.
That's not his
now.
character, not the on-screen character that we're seeing him. He wants to take out Seth Rollins himself.
That's a lot more believable than him asking.
Guys, everybody out there is calling for, oh, I want to see Punk turn heel. I want to see him take the Rock's offer. I want to see corporate Punk. An interview he did. I don't remember. Shut up for a second.
No, Barthy, I'll be shutting you up for a second. Everyone has been talking corporate Cody since The Rock cut this Raw. They have not everyone been talking corporate Punk, for the record.
I have heard online and content creators saying, what if Punk takes it? I've heard it.
5 dirt sheets. You talk about 5 dirt sheets.
No, not the dirt sheets. Not even the dirt sheets.
You're like, well, those are wrong. That's
what I'm saying. But I am saying, can you shut up for a second? All I'm saying is they're wrong. Punk will not take up the offer. He made that clear last night. And he has said personally in interviews that he does not want to be a heel anymore because it's not challenging for him.
In what
because
world
back in the day, what's that?
No one offered.
Doesn't have the offer from The Rock.
But it's been speculated that somebody else could take it when Cody turns it down. But people have been saying, oh, what if Punk could take it? But I don't think he's going to take it because he doesn't want to be a heel anymore because it's not challenging to him. He said that on the record. Being a heel is not a challenge for him. It's too easy. He said he'd rather be the babyface veteran. And it's more challenge to him to do that than to be a heel because it's so easy for him. So that's why I don't think everybody is saying corporate Punk is on the way. It's not going to happen.
But I'm talking about him getting Roman to take out Seth with the favorite.
I don't think that's going to happen either.
And I think if Cody sells his soul tonight, then he's the heel no matter what. CM Punk and Roman Reigns taking out Seth Rollins, who
I don't think we're going to see Homelander Cody either.
Can you imagine if what Partham said?
All right, Parthy, you got Cena then?
Yes, by process of elimination. And I agree with Rob that they really should do the breaking the streak of, singles losses first before they do the title run with Cena, or at least the title chase with Cena. But it looks like to me, they're going to go with Cena, some version of Cena and Cody at WrestleMania. I would say that for December in his last match, but it looks like that's where they're going.
It's unfortunate that our head of table is so incorrect in this case. So I'm going to seriously.
The guy who makes more right picks around here is so incorrect.
Corporate made Punk makes so much more sense than Cena at WrestleMania for sure. You can absolutely run Cena into SummerSlam with a corporate made Punk, and it'll be hotter than literally an inferno. Is that no true?
Partham, by the way, Elimination Chamber is not a multiple choice exam. You don't need to use process of elimination for every match, dude. You could just
sometimes you do.
I mean, it's all good. I got corporate made Punk winning this match by hook, by crook. He's going to WrestleMania. He's facing Cody Rhodes, and that leads. You think we're done after that main event talk? No, we got one more topic to go because, of course, the real main event of this show is will Cody Rhodes sell his soul? There has been almost no build up to this whatsoever. It almost makes no sense storyline whatsoever for it to be corporate Cody. But 0.0. He hasn't had any struggles. He hasn't had any issues. He hasn't had any big time issues making it on the big stage, anything like that. For The Rock to be like, I'm going to make you a star or buying him a truck, it's kind of falling on flat ears to me. So with that said, I think there is a 0.0% chance of Cody becoming The Rock's champion tonight. He is going to stay straight edge Cody, and that is why we're going to corporate made Punk. Cody Rhodes denies selling The Rock his soul. Parthy, what do you got?
All right. So what I think is going to happen, and what I'd love to have happen, even though it's not going to happen, I think we saw that truck last night, that Cody Rhodes logo painted truck. I think that's going to come into play. I think Cody's going to use that to give The Rock his final answer. And I think you're going to see Cody going up to that truck. He looks like he's about to get inside, but instead of going inside, what does he pull out of it? A sledgehammer. And just like back in AEW when he broke the throne, now he's going to use that to give The Rock his final answer and just sledgehammer, this gaudy truck that The Rock tried to bribe him with, and that's going to be his thing. Now, in a fantasy booking scenario, what I'd love to have happen is The Rock is, giving his final pitch to Cody in the ring, and okay, there. And Cody's, mulling it over, thinking about it. And then you hear this.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic
Would be awesome.
Rhodes came out to off of tempting Cody by having him sell his soul. That would be epic. I know it's not going to happen, but I love to see it.
I don't think it does anything really. Like, I would love to see it too. I was pushing for Brandy to come out in the Women's Rumble.
Anyway, Rob,
what do you
ahead.
got?
Yeah, I don't think he sells his soul. It would be interesting to see how it goes down, though. I think it definitely the truck will definitely play a factor. I want to see if like Punk or someone, if whoever wins the Chamber, plays a factor in this promo as well. But in the end, Cody's not selling his soul. He's the people's champion.
I ultimately don't think Cody sells his soul. He's pretty adamant he's going to keep this thing cooking as long as he is. But I want to at least walk down the path if he does sell his soul. I want to at least entertain what that could look like, because there's a lot of Kevin Owens right now would be right about everything he just said about Cody Rhodes for the last year. Kevin was right would be the thing. Randy Orton coming back. What would he do if Cody Rhodes was a corporate guy? Would he just align with Cody? Would he just be like his buddy? What does Owens end up with that? Like, the repercussions around the WWE make it interesting enough where I'm like, if they just wanted to do something crazy right now, this is a pretty big move to do, to have these guys align heading into Mania. They don't have there's no big bad really. Like, the final boss is in some way the big bad, but as Maniac, you said, he just kind of just showed up. We don't even really know what this whole
That's real quick.
There's no thing behind it.
There's no adversity for Cody Rhodes. He's just beaten everybody he's faced, and it's been like a mini battle. But he hasn't struggled. He hasn't been down on his luck. He hasn't been like the WWE hasn't been in the tank. There's no adversity where this would actually make sense in storyline.
Exactly. But that's why it's like, would they do it as a hot shot thing to then all of a sudden create this, like, it might be short term game, long term you don't know what you're doing with it, but then all of a sudden if you have heel Cody, heel Rock leading into Mania and into this year and people trying to knock them off, that could be compelling television if they're committed to it. But ultimately, I think that Cody just goes in as the babyface, and we see The Rock courting a bunch of superstars over the next month to see who he's going to line with.
I love Partham's idea about the sledgehammer. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
That is a good idea.
That would be so badass. But my answer ultimately is no, he's not going to sell his soul. I mean, like, everything about Cody in WWE has been babyface as it could possibly get. You think he's going to just give it all up to the final boss just because he asked? After all the shit, the final boss, sorry, Owen, but like, the final boss has done some dastardly things to Cody Rhodes. And now he's just going to align with this dude? Come on.
Can we also mention the belt that literally has Dusty's date that he
didn't get
passed away on?
I didn't know how that was a compelling case.
He's still, and it's not like he's done either. He's still doing these.
Yeah,
these
he's trying to like Ramsey Bolton, Theon Greyjoy him, like speed run him into like a Reek type role. It's kind of crazy.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know if The Rock actually wants Cody Rhodes to be his champion.
Oh, I like this.
You think it's a double bluff?
But they're friends. They FaceTime together.
No, definitely not
The
that.
FaceTime once was actually
FaceTime's
hysterical.
crazy.
The fact that he said FaceTime once was hysterical.
I just think the FaceTime, the showing the mom's picture, like, even if he's playing a role, which like he's trying to, and he literally said he's playing a character on Twitter. Spoiler alert, fans.
Wait, what?
But even if he's just doing all this as a front for Cody, I don't really think it makes too much sense, to be honest. Like, this is all like too fake of The Rock for me. I think there's something bigger at play. He's expecting Cody to say no so that he can have a reason to make Cody's life a living hell. And I think we're going to get a no from Cody tonight. And it's just going to go off the air with the final boss going, fair enough. I'll see you in Buffalo.
Can you imagine? All right, Talbots, what do we got?
Cody's not going to sell his soul.
All right. Simple to the it doesn't make any sense. I'll be the first person to say that in terms of the selling soul. And I don't think he would say it tonight. I think it would be something at WrestleMania where it would finally come to fruition. So I think there'll be like a cliffhanger tonight, and I'm going like way back into the WWE or WWF back then. The whole Lex Luger Tatanka angle, where $1 Million Man wanted said he had Lex Luger as his champion, and leads to Tatanka accusing him of this, and it was eventually Tatanka that turns on Luger in this match. So I think this is going to be something where Cody says no tonight, or something along the lines of he's not going to do it, but at WrestleMania the swerve takes place, and maybe he makes it look like CM Punk is going to be the one that joins up with The Rock. And I get it. It doesn't make much sense, but you could show the picture of CM Punk at the Moana premiere along with The Rock getting his picture taken. That's floating on social media. So maybe it's going to be leading up to WrestleMania. Maybe it's, Cody Rhodes saying, I said no, I think you're going to be his champion. But at WrestleMania, Rock comes out, costs Punk the match. You get a heel Cody going into those summer months. It leads to his character being a little bit different. And we've seen this before where we get heel turns or face turns that really don't make much sense. I'm trying to remember why Austin aligned with Vince McMahon one year.
That was the thing. They couldn't make sense of it.
Right.
That was just like they both smiled at each other, and it was on.
And they shook hands, so
that was all it was.
We've at least seen this before where it doesn't make sense, because I do agree with you guys. Like, him selling his soul to The Rock after everything doesn't make much sense, but maybe this is something where he wants to try to, not that he'll ever, get to Roman Reigns' streak or record of holding the belt that long, but this helps him out if he aligns with The Rock and he goes on this little heel turn. And it also makes it that much better if it's, Cena that eventually takes the belt off of him at the end of the year, when you have a red hot heel Cody with The Rock aligned with him, something along those lines.
Agreed.
Two things I want to chime in with here. One is, remember the awkward belt exchange promo last year? And specifically don't break my heart again.
Don't break my heart again. So that was my next question to wrap up this entire episode and this segment. Are we going to figure out what The Rock put in Cody's hand in that fateful segment? Because it would be nice to finally get some answers.
I feel like they're never going to bring that up again.
It's going to be like another lockbox. They haven't really brought it up since.
I feel like
I'm just saying, I want some explanation.
He just wanted to leave with a cliffhanger that night and was like, let's do this, and then let them talk about it forever, and they're just done with it now.
Yeah, do we even know if
maybe it was the keys
where he was going, knowing everything that The Rock has come back and asserted himself into storylines, maybe The Rock that night was like, trust me, this will be a great idea. Everyone will be talking for months about what I put in his hand, and then maybe he just forgot.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Since The Rock is correct, the final boss has been hot, but a lot of storylines just get ditched along the way. Like, I'm facing Roman. Well, no, I'm not facing Roman because of this, and then comes back. Oh, our story's just getting started, but I'm leaving for 9 months. Then I'm gonna come back and say we're best friends and all this stuff. So there's
and then we're gonna count to 3.
And then we're going to count to 3 and we're going to cross the neck at Bad Blood like crazy. But with that said, I think we will get the answers tonight. Yep. Get it, Micah.
To add on to Talbot with the heel, if they do go to this heel Cody route, and it would be Cena. Cena wins in his last match, right? Whatever, he gets a title. If he vacates, then you probably get a Royal Rumble for the title or something like that. I think that you can have if this is the way you go, the way it ends is WrestleMania 42. Heel Cody Rhodes winning the title back against Roman Reigns, babyface Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes 3. So this is they could get to all this stuff out.
Would have to be involved in that too, because he is the guy that brought WrestleMania.
And think of switching the dynamic up. It's Rock and Cody going against Roman, and Roman probably being with the Usos, and Cody. If it's like a heel corporation with Cody and Rock, they're getting a whole group together. Like Randy's probably aligning with them. Maybe somebody else.
Oh no.
Listen, speaking of Roman Reigns, if he wasn't involved, if there wasn't a receipt coming to Seth Rollins right now, wouldn't he be involved in this? Because The Rock is saying, I want a brother. Like you don't have 1,000, Samoan cousins.
Yeah,
and,
right. Bro, you showed us your entire
What if that's when Roman shows up tonight, is the soul selling thing, and then all of a sudden
I would say that if he didn't have, some business with Seth Rollins.
There's a lot of angles. There's a lot of answers we're looking for. We'll get them tonight at Elimination Chamber. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Wrestling with Motion. Shout out to the Talbots for making their return after years. We got Slick Saturday. We got Mike, your friend, my friend, our friend. We got the Prophet. We got the head of the table, Mike Partham, because this is not the show where it's wrestling with your conscience. This is not the show where it's wrestling with your budget. It is wrestling with emotion.
Brother, you gotta take that fantasy booking shit somewhere.
Yeet.
Scissor me, Micah.
Oh, wrong one.
Oh, the thing took like 30